And that, Grandpa, is how it's done. Oh, check. Yeah.
Well, now, you know, Elizabeth, I'm not very good before my second cup of coffee.
Oh, sure.
Don't. I tried to stop her, Mr. Spaulding, but she
is Alexandra. That's all right, Thomas. I'll take over from here. So, sister dearest, what do we owe this unexpected pleasure?
Oh, please. I came over because I wanted to make sure that Lizzie's okay.
Well, of course she's all right. Why wouldn't she be?
Wait, what's wrong, Aunt Alex?
Oh, Lord, you don't know.
No, what?
Darling, it's about Ben Reed.
What happened?
Darling, I'm afraid Ben is the person who killed those people.
What?
Well, apparently there's a lot we didn't know about Ben. It's just, I still can't believe the whole thing myself.
He didn't hurt anyone else, did he?
Well, he kidnapped Marina, but...
No, stop, I don't want to hear it.
No, darling, he didn't harm her. Not one bit. The police showed up and... Anyway, now it's just... It's all over.
What do you mean?
Oh, Lizzie, darling. Ben took his own life. He's dead. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Lizzie, I know that you and Ben had become friends.
Well, it's all here in black and white.
I'm so sorry, Aunt Alex. I know how much you love him.
Oh, I did, sweetheart. I did. You know, I've known his family all my life. It just... The whole thing seems so unreal to me. I look at this face. All I can see is that sweet young face who had Cook all wrapped around his little finger. And I can see he and Michelle and Billy running around the house. I don't understand. It's just...
Something turned Ben Reed into this.
Yeah, well, I got a call from Ross. Evidently, it happened after he left us. Something seemed to happen when he was away at school. Evidently, he was a victim of the worst kind of abuse, you know. Never quite recovered from it, but I think about that young man walking around with that problem. I mean, none of us knowing. I just want to understand it.
And we will never understand this tragedy. That young man just broke down, and we will never be able to put the pieces back together.
I know it, Alan, but it's how it happened. Why?
How and why it happened is for the therapist. The most important thing is that he did not hurt our Lizzie.
Ben would never have hurt it.
Hi. Hey, I heard about Ben. I'm sorry. Are you okay?
I didn't mean this to happen. I didn't want this to happen, I swear.
Elizabeth, honey, no one is blaming you for what happened to Ben.
No, honey. Why? Did you know something about this? About Ben?
I just feel so guilty, Dad. I was jealous of Marina. It was like she could just have any guy she wanted at a snap of her finger. I mean, she had Ben and Shane at her feet. I just didn't think it should be that easy for her. No, I didn't want this to happen to her, Dad, and I didn't want this
Listen to me. Wishing that Marina and Shane were not together is not what set this in motion. A wish is not what sent Ben up to that cabin. Now, honey, you know that.
Lizzie, your father's right. You didn't wish this to happen.
No, of course. No, when things like this happen, we all feel a little guilty. We feel like there should have been something that we could do to prevent it. That doesn't mean that it's your fault. Honey, it just means that you are a normal, sensitive, wonderful young girl who feels a little helpless because she couldn't prevent the death of her friend. Okay? Oh, honey. Why don't we get out of here for a while? Why don't we go get something to eat? Any place you want. What do you say?
You're on.
Okay. That's my girl.
Thank you, sweetheart.
It'll be all right, darling. These things happen.
Well, I know you have a heart, Ellen, when I see you with Lizzie. But you don't feel a damn thing for Ben Reed. He worked for us. He lived in this house when he was young.
Well, so did you.
We've known him since he's been a child, for heaven's sakes. Alan, this is a tragedy.
Life is full of tragedies. And this one came very close to our Lizzie. Now, I suggest that in the future, she choose her friends a little more carefully.
Oh, God, Alan, always so warm and compassionate.
Look, I did like that young man very much. I thought he had tremendous potential. And I also know that this strikes a chord within you, Alexandra, because you lost Lou Jack when he was very young. But nothing we can do will bring him back. But there is one thing I can do. I can protect this family and make sure that it is safe and sound.
Well, does this plan of protection happen to also include me, Alan? Is it time maybe we start over? Because I am very sorry that things got so out of control between us. I wish you'd consider starting fresh.